Yep, we're live. Let me get into YouTube. Let's see where I am. Get the pop out chat. There's the pop out. Get the pop out chat. Okay, got the pop out. Let's see who's here. Hey, Harry, what's going on? We got Harry over here. Who else we got? How you doing, Harry? What's going on? All right, pop out chat is there. Nick, I wanted to talk to you, Nick. Working on a Courage today. I wanted to get your opinion on something. Let me throw the chat up. Oh, there's the link. Let's see. Let's get the pop out back up. There's the pop out. Craig, brother Craig, welcome, my friend. What's going on? Break time? Yeah, second shift. My daughter gets her lunch at 7 o'clock. 7 to 7:30 is her second shift lunch. Hope all is well. Did a lot of chatting with James today, Craig, as always. Took today off to get some work done. Zombie Dave, what's going on? Here's Nick. Hold on.
Hey, Ken.
What's going on? This stupid Kohler Courage, man. I hate him.
I know.
I told you I had that one where the motor was actually shaking a little bit because the bolts were loose and the motor mounting bolts. But I took today off of work. I was going to work on it, but I ended up getting that STX30 John Deere done as far as its running, driving, cutting.
Oh,
but
nice.
But now I have no brakes, and I almost hit my Jeep because I'm coming down the street like 30 miles an hour. I'm like, oh, crap, what do I do? So I pop it into gear, dump the pedal, with the rear end. Luckily, I stopped and I didn't hit the Jeep. But I got to do what it is, the little caliper. No, I'm sorry, the disc, the little disc on the Peerless.
Oh, yeah.
It's frozen on the splines, so it can't float. And if it can't float, you don't have brakes. So I've got to take my muffler chisel with the blunt tip and maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But at least I got it running. And I'll be honest with you. Remember how everyone was saying it's a 15-horse engine? You put the regular carb on it, it's going to act like a 15-horse. This don't act like a 15-horse. It acts like a 9-horse. So I'm wondering if there's something with the valves or something with the camshaft, because the STX that I have that's like a 12.5 has a hell of a lot more power than this supposed 9-horse. Same engine, same carburetor, but something must be different.
Yeah, I'm thinking the cam probably.
Something, because when you engage the blade, the thing almost dies. It's a single blade. Once it revs up, these engines aren't designed to run at 36 either. I think they're designed to run at like 34.75 or something. It just sounds kind of odd, but I tell you, cuts beautiful. I did 2 of my neighbors and my own today. It cut beautiful. Just you can't stop. You have no brakes. So...
Yeah, I had STX 38. It was fast. Like if you put
fifth gear, it pulls wheelies. You pull wheelies all day. Crazy. Hey, Will, what's going on?
Yeah, the Courages, they vibrate so much. Like it's insane.
This thing here, I got to put a jump pack on it because right now there's not enough juice in it to really crank it. But it's giving it the old, is it the compression release or what? You know? And I saw a few videos where, have you ever had any when the valve guides lift out because of the mouse nests?
Oh yeah.
So have you put them back and peened them, or what have you done, or just change the head?
Yeah, I just take a punch and go around.
So you put them flush and then peen them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That usually works.
Yeah, because I think the compression is probably good, but there's a huge mouse nest in there, so I'm assuming it overheated and the guide just popped out.
Yeah.
I haven't even taken the valve cover off yet to look at it because it's so disgusting looking and filthy, and it's a Courage. So, anyway, what are you working on? Anything good?
Yeah, I picked up another mower.
Didn't you? Push or tractor?
Push mower.
Oh yeah. Sale job or what? Flip?
Yeah, it's a flip.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my customers called me today and said, "Come over to my house and get this one." He has one where the threads were stripped out, so I put a helicoil in it for the spark plug, and then he ended up buying a $5,000 John Deere 300 series, and he doesn't care about the push mower anymore. So he says, "Come get it." So I could afford free. What's up, Matt?
It's a Craftsman mower with the quant. It's a Gold Series, the Quantums. Those are good.
Yeah, the Gold Series is good. What's his name? Jason said they sell pretty good. But what color is it though?
Red.
Yeah, see, Jason said red sells. He says the blacks and the grays don't sell, but the reds sell.
Yeah, it's weird.
Up here, you could have Toros up your butt, personal pace 22s all day long. You can't get more than $7,500 for them. I don't know what it is. Down where he is with small lawns, you can, but here, most people just use them as trimming for trimmers. So they don't care. They want to spend $75. They're not going to spend $200 on a push mower. Yeah. It looks like Will's got a bunch of stuff going. I tell you, Will is posting a lot on OPE Forum. A lot of his projects, man. I don't know. I think he does it for a living too during the day. I think he does he do outboards or something too? Because I saw he did an outboard. Oh, hold on. I got to let the cat out. Hold on. Good. If the cat's stranded in my room, she'll just keep meowing and won't shut up. Anywho. But, yeah, Will's got some really good content, too. I see him a lot on Instagram and Facebook, stuff like that.
Yeah, he does post on Instagram.
Yep. Well, we're going to lose our kitty, too, Matt. Because my daughter, my oldest, she'll be 27, is moving out June 1st. She is moving out. So that's going to be a little bit tough. You know, when you get older, I mean, you're still young, Nick, but I'm saying when you get into your late 20s, get out. You know? But we'll see. She's been engaged for 4 years. So now they're going to get an apartment together, see if they can live together. Hey, good luck. You know?
Yeah.
More power to you. Anywho, who else is on here? We got Will, we got Matt, we got Nick, we got who else? Craig's on there. I think Craig's just looking at lunch break because Craig is in Ohio working second shift. I think he's just checking it out. 18 and out. Nah, my wife's Italian, Matt. The kids can stay here till they're 62. So that's the way it is. But
yeah, I'm
probably going to tech school, right, Nick? Is it next year you're going?
Late this year.
Yeah, cool. Which school?
UTI.
Oh, nice. Which you're doing diesel, you said, right?
Yeah, diesel automotive.
Is it? Yeah, well, diesel, you'll be able to compete with Jason then. Anywho, let me put the link up there again if anyone else wants to chime in. Hold on. Oop. There we go. There's the link. Anyone else who wants to come on board? It's early, though. What is it, 7? Yeah, so it's early yet. But, anywho.
Yeah,
got a call today from a guy. What's that?
Yeah, I just had to put gas in it and it just fired up. It's nuts how what they throw out. You know?
I had a Honda generator yesterday. It was a home light, which I can't stand the cheap home light crap.
Oh,
anyway, Honda motor though, but the primary jet emulsion tube totally clogged. Cleaned it out, got it running. I put water in it. Make sure to put water in so you don't blow up the seals. Got it running, ran perfect. Guy came and got it. I think he charged him $30. Because it took me half hour, not even. So text me today. Oh, I put it on and the pump's not working. You sure you put water in it when you tried it out? And I'm like, yep. And I said, what brand is it? Because I didn't even remember the brand. I just saw the Honda engine. I fixed it. So he sends me the model of his home light. Oh, geez. I said, hold on. So I looked online real quick, e-replacement or one of those places. $133 or something for the pump plus shipping, like $150. I'm like, it ain't worth it. For $300 you get a brand new, like a Karcher or a decent brand, Yeah. So hopefully, I told him, I said, get a Karcher. And he goes, where can you get those? I said, Lowe's. He goes, oh, okay. So he's a local electrician or plumber or whatever he is. So he can do that. Yeah. But I hate when people, they yell and scream and bitch about the price, but then you tell them, look, I'll do whatever you want. I'll put a pump in. I'll do that, but you're going to spend $200 and then you're gonna have a piece of crap that's worth 50. When you could take that $200 and the 30 you just spent on having the motor fixed, you could sell the motor for $30 or $40. I'm gonna buy it. I said, then take that money, that 200, and put it into a new one. I just looked at Lowe's. The new ones are like 220 to 350. How can you go wrong?
Yeah,
crazy. But some people, they gotta have their equipment fixed. It doesn't matter what it is. It just doesn't matter. Hey, there's Pate. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, Thomas Andrews. Thomas, we tried to get you on the other day. I apologize. I know you wanted to talk to Scott, but I was just having a hell of a time with these with the StreamYard. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't good. But tonight it seems okay. It seems like I'm. Do I have any lag at all, Nick, or what?
No, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. No, the other day it was crazy. My Sunday stream, I was a 4-second lag. It was just nuts.
Yeah, it's good now.
Yeah. Thomas, a snow thrower today? Where are you, in Canada or something? Who's working on snow throwers? I think what's his name? Bruce Pender might still be. I don't know about us.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know about you. I don't think.
Oh man.
Oh, I picked up one today. I forgot. It's a Boland's with it has the Courage on it. That's
Boland's is MTD, so beware.
Yep, it is. I know MTDs are junk. I know.
Well, no, I mean some of the stuff they do isn't bad. They do have like a pro line or something like that, but when you think of pro stuff, you don't think of MTD though.
Yeah, it has a good engine. It has that Kohler engine on it.
Which one?
It's the single Courage, I think.
Don't say Courage. Courage suck.
But the one on the push mowers are good.
Oh, the only thing though they didn't have the recall. They had a service bulletin on the gas tanks.
Yeah,
those gas tanks, the gas caps leaked. But they wouldn't replace them for free. They wanted you to spend $32 on a gas. I've replaced 6 of those tanks already.
Those are the good Courages though. The other ones,
they do. Yeah, those are good. The verticals like that, yeah, they do run good. I can't complain. The only thing I found with those though, the nipple for the gas tank, it has that little filter that pushes onto the nipple, where you have like that if it kinks inside the fuel tank, will not allow enough flow. It'll drive you nuts. So what I do, I take the fuel line off that nipple on the bottom of the tank, pull that little fuel filter out of there, just pull it out, put a red Briggs disc filter, done. Solve the problem. Because I had one, it was hunting. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And it was the Courage, whatever. I didn't realize that filter was actually, it's like a barb and a barb. So you have the barb coming out of the tank, then you have another barb with the screen molded onto it. That slips up into the barb in the tank. And then that barb sticks up in the tank. Take that thing out of there, because someone had gone in with like a fuel, maybe a gas pump from the gas station, and they pushed it down the tank and kinked that screen. Once they kinked it, it would not flow. I took that screen out, flowed like crazy. So that's just a tip for those Courage, verticals. They just take that screen out, put in a Briggs, a red or a white disc, and just go to town.
Yeah.
So
this one's weird though. Like it's all stripped and like the engine's stripped. It's weird. It's missing some things.
What, the customer tried to fix something?
Yeah, he just gave it to me. He's like, yeah, here it is. I'm like, okay.
That's all right. Free's good. Will, take care. Have a good dinner. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, it's missing the air filter cover, the engine cover, like the shroud. It's missing I think it's missing the fuel tank too.
I just noticed the parts on those are expensive. Like I said, the fuel tank's like $31. It's not cheap, and they don't sell aftermarket Stens or anybody. They don't sell them yet.
Yeah,
so, that's one thing I noticed too. Even on the Briggs, like those the Briggs 5-horse, the ones used on like leaf blowers and stuff. That tank, it's like a square tank with the center cap on. It's plastic. The tank goes for like $70. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
ridiculous. The one where the fuel in it, you got to take half the covers off just to get to the fuel inlet, and then they always have a fuel shut-off block-off sticker. And then you take the sticker off, and you can put the fuel shut-off, the 90-degree Briggs fuel shut-off in there.
Yeah,
I usually do that. Hey, Harry, over in UK there, what are you working on, buddy? I haven't seen any more videos from you, pal. Good old Hagry over there. I know he wants to get a bunch of subscribers. We got to get you some content, bud. Oh, there's Mick. What's going on, Mick?
Yeah, Mick's in here.
Mick, what time is it? 7. So he's probably on his way to work.
Is
Probably
Ed
on
in
his way
here?
to
No,
work.
I didn't see Ed.
What's that?
I didn't see Ed. I was going to say, is he
Polar
in here?
bear? No, I didn't see Ed yet. Nope. Ed may be having dinner though. It's still pretty early. I just came on because I was like, the heck with it, you know. Usually I don't do it Tuesday, but I wanted to talk about the stupid Kohler Courage.
Yeah, I could rant all day about those.
Speaking of devil, here comes our polished head friend. What's going on, my friend?
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, Mick.
On the way to work?
I'm at work. Yeah, just waiting for the trains to stop so I can go and do my bit.
You doing the ballast again tonight? The ballast and rails and all that? Yep.
Yeah, I'm a tamping tonight.
That's cool.
Prop you up.
I guess Sparky's on his way tomorrow on his 2 or 3 day trip for Joe's granddad. I guess that funeral, he's got to take like 4 buses because it's going to take all day.
All right. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. And they said they're only going to allow 6 people in there, so I don't know how they're going to do that.
Yeah, they minimise it to about 6 or 10 people, I think. Apparently. So how you all been? You been all right?
Took today off to work on a tractor, and I worked on everything but. So that's what happens when you have the day off. You work on everything but what you want to work on.
Yeah.
I hear
Hey,
that.
Mick.
Well, I've been working on a nice couple of machines today. I worked on a Ransom Marquis Mark V.
What is that, Mick?
It's a real mower.
Oh,
1970, somewhere in there, with a nice old Briggs 3-horse.
only a 3, small.
Yeah, but it's 18 inch reel. Nice mower. I'll show you a photograph of it. Nice mower.
Now, is that something where you call them cylinder mowers, Mick?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, that's it.
See, I'm learning the lingo. Look, Mick. Look what I'm doing, Mick. T, my friend. T. There you go.
Got up T. Where is it? Let me find a photograph of it. Let me find a decent photograph. There it is.
Oh, wow. Metal gas tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, metal gas tank. Yeah, it's all singing, all dancing. So I've been doing on that one today. And then I pulled out. I've been waiting on spare parts, which has been taking an age. I've been waiting on a fuel tap for a Suffolk Super Punch mower as well, and another real mower, which is a 17-inch dual drive system cylinder mower, and got that running today as well, but it's not running quite right. That's got an iron foundry engine on it, or an iron horse, which is even better than Briggs. They're proper classics with a Zenith carburetor.
Later, Matt. We'll see you soon.
So yeah,
But hey, Mick, do you have access to like Stens and rotary parts over there?
say again.
Do you have access to the aftermarket like Stens and rotary parts?
Yeah, there is actually a Stens now in the UK in Doncaster. I think it's Doncaster. It might. Yeah, I think it's Doncaster. Yeah, they're over here now. Yeah, which is kind of cool. I don't really use them a lot, but yeah, they're over here now.
The markup though is incredible. You know, friends of mine that have tax numbers, you go onto Stens and something that says the list price is $7 costs you like $1.98. It's ridiculous what the markup is.
The good thing,
But then again,
the good thing
tax number, you got to do your quarterly taxes.
The good thing for us though is we now have access to American parts quite quick. We don't have to pay for shipping. So well, not the American shipping anyway. So yeah, for us it's quite good. It is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, you know, for me, and much for you, Ken, too, it is what it is in regards to if a machine for a customer needs a part, you buy the part, you charge the customer the part. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, do you still have the VAT though, Mick?
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing, Mick, over there. They got a VAT value-added tax. Oh my God, what is it? 20%, Mick?
17.5% in cases now.
Imagine that, Mick. 17% just to say hello. How are you?
No.
Crazy. Well, Canada's the same way. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
been working on that today, those two, and I did an engine swap today. I had an old Ibita mower in, which had a C's no compression Quantum. That came off. I'm gonna look into that. I don't think it's done. So I've just put a 3.5 Classic on that today and did a complete engine strip down spray and what have you. So that's good. That's all done. And then I had a bloke come in with a trimmer. I fixed it last week for him, and he came back a bit narky. He said that my fix was no good. The pull cord, it's only the pull cord had come off, so all I've done was get 4 new bolts and bolted it back on. So it's no biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he couldn't pull the pull cord, and it soon aspired that he couldn't pull it because the piston was stuck to the side of the bore, where he had put plain fuel in it. So that was the end of that argument.
Yeah, that's common.
I have some older customers the same way. They don't have enough strength really to pull it. And I've actually turned them on to some of the electric start push mowers. They're not cheap, but it's really good for the elderly people,
Yeah, I've got one in at the moment. I've got a Mountfield. I can't tell you what make it is off the top of my head, but that's an electric start, and I'm just waiting on batteries. I've got the wiring loom bit for it I needed. I'm waiting on the battery. That comes. I've got the charger as well. So yeah, that should sell for good money, and they're okay. Like I say, they're good for the elderly. The only problem I find with them, Ken, over here, the 21-inch version, although it's an electric start, it's got quite a fierce drive on it. So it would be nice to find an electric start push. We don't have a lot of electric start push over here. We have electric start self-propel.
Oh, okay.
So I would like to find a couple of push mowers that I can sell on electric start, because I reckon I can sell them quite well. But,
yeah, it depends on some of the engines are machined for the starter, but a lot of them aren't. And
the conversion kits to change the flywheels over are not cheap either.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's that. So I've been busy, but not overly busy. It's been quite a nice day today. Just sat in the shed since 10 o'clock this morning till about 3 o'clock this afternoon, just tinkering and just working away. It's been quite nice, and I've just hit 3,000 subscribers.
There you go.
That happened about 2 hours ago.
There you go. You having a giveaway, Mick?
Oh, you know me. I might give something away.
Hey, when is your surprise guest? Is that this coming weekend?
It happened today.
Oh, it happened. Oh, on the crankshaft video?
No, it happened on the Ibita video. So that would be out. I might put that out Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Do the video. So yeah, he rocked up.
Oh, cool.
Just quite. You know him.
I'd love to get Bruce or some of the boys.
He's from the States.
I tell you, there's some really good guys up here, like Jeremy. What's his name? Jeremy Mower Medic 1. He's always got some good stuff going on. You know who I haven't seen a lot of lately though is Donnie Boy up in Canada. Used to see him all the time. I don't see him as much anymore.
Yeah,
I've not seen a lot of Bruce. I've not seen a lot of Bruce this week. Bruce has been very quiet too.
Yeah, but I think Bruce is getting acclimated because I think didn't the snow just stop? I mean, he had snow up until like 2 weeks ago.
I don't know. I might drop him an email. I've not heard from him. Mower Medic 1. He messaged me the other week. Wanted to know if I do another compilation video with other subscribers. He wants in on it. So I might get in contact with him, and he's messaged me on Facebook and wants to get involved. So that'd be good.
Yeah, Jeremy Fountain. He does some real good videos.
Yeah, he does some good how-tos, and they're quite raw as well, which is quite good. I quite like the raw aspect of it. So,
You watch Double Wide 6?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen his stuff in a while.
He's done a few videos. He's done about 3 or 4 in the past 2 months. But he has quite a lot on his plate, from what I'm led to believe. but he does good videos too, without a doubt. He was working on a welder. He had a new welder he was doing. He was welding a lawnmower deck up and bits and pieces. So
Yeah.
that was quite cool.
Yeah.
The problem is that so many people are on lockdown right now. I don't know about you guys, but I wake up every morning and I've got like 40 notifications. You know, I can't keep up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, it's work as usual for me, though. I mean, I like you, Mick. You know, I'm doing my 10, 11 hours a day, you know. So.
Well, I might do 2 or 3.
That's all right. I enjoy what I do, so I can't complain.
Yeah,
Hey, Breezy.
I love my job too. It's just I can't wait for this coronavirus to sort itself out. My company just give me a new pack of disposable face masks to wear, some new gloves, some new hand sanitizer. I got my big boy mask as well.
Ooh. Well, yeah, because you got all that silica dust, right? You got to watch that silica. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nasty stuff.
Yeah, that'll knock you out. So.
You got fresh air compressors and all that.
When we're working in tunnels, we have fresh air, but this one is power generated anyway. So it's got its own pump on it, so it filters through the air as well. So that's all right. It does okay.
How many years you been doing that, Mick?
I've been on the railway now. 12 years. No,
Okay.
no, longer than that. 2002.
Wow,
I
18
joined.
years.
18?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
18.
Years. Do you know what? It's just the best job ever. I used to work on a farm before that, so that's where I learned some of my mechanics and small engine stuff. Farm, but this is a million miles away from that.
Well, like they say, farmers are the best mechanics.
Well, but
They have
but
to.
They certainly get it done.
Yeah.
But
Out in the middle of the cornfield, 2 a.m, MacGyver. You do what you got to do.
Yep.
But I think I'm up to 320 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm making a little headway.
It takes time. It takes time. You know, like I said to you, Ken. You know, you've got to put the content out there. And for me, I like to have a bit of structure to my videos, and especially if you're doing little how-tos. You did a video the other day. You dropped a little tip on sticking a fuel line on a spark plug. Do you know what? That's a really good tip. I really enjoyed that. Not something I'd thought of before, and I work on lots of generators and what have you, so that's handy. It's just, I think you should just make your videos a little bit longer, a little bit more structure behind them.
Yep.
And I think you'd do well.
Like I said, I'm not out for the money. I'm not out for all that. So if someone enjoys it or whatever for now, that's all. Like I said, it's just something to do. That's all.
I'm telling you now. If you're in it for the money, forget it.
No, you get some people out there. Oh man, that seems like all they want to do. They're always pushing those super chats and this and that, and I don't know. I'm just on here to have some fun. Maybe teach someone something. That's all. Yeah,
and me too. I earn a little bit out of YouTube, which is nice. Not enough to write home about, but it just stays in the bank account. I don't draw on it, and the only time I sort of spend it is for giveaways or for buying spares or new tools that I need. You're never going to make millions doing what we do. You might make millions if your video goes virals and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think anyone might ever do that. But no, you're right. Having fun is the key. Got to have fun.
To me, YouTube is the world's encyclopedia.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah. If I'm stuck on a fix or I'm stuck on anything, it just goes straight to YouTube. They got the answer in there somewhere.
I see Mason's in there. He's wanting to come up, but I don't see him in the basement yet. Mason said someone made him a mask, some kind of mask. So come on up, Mason. The link's right there. But anywho, yeah, like I said, with this stuff, I don't know about you, Nick, but I could be as busy as I want to be honest with you. I get 2 or 3 calls a day, and I can either answer them, not answer them, or put them on. I mean, hey, I pick and choose now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my late 50s. I don't care. Something, you know, it's nice to have the money, but it's also nice to have the time. So
no, I 100% agree with you. You know, last week was a busy week for me. I had about 12 machines in. This week I've only had about 4 in. And it's been sort of nice because it then gives you time to get on with the stuff that you want to do. I mean, like for the first time in 2 weeks, I actually swept my workshop out. You know, because man, it was bad. And I vowed that my new workshop would not get in the state my old one was, and I'm keeping on top of it. But today I managed to get all my jobs all done, finished off for a week. I've got nothing else to do now, nothing pressing apart from my own projects. And I managed to empty the workshop out, have a sweep out, get the air compressor, and have a good blowout and tidy up, put it all back in where it belongs. I found 2 or 3 items of tools that I'd lost, and I now have a complete socket set again, which I have all week. You know, I lost my quarter socket all week. I found that today. So I've got to make a few modifications. I need to put a little tiny skirting board under my bench so that nothing rolls under the bench. So I need to do that this week. I'm waiting on a Chinese carburetor to turn up for my rototiller because I've got enough money now to put down my cable to run electric from the house to the shed. So I'll get the rototiller working so I can dig a trench to put the cable underground. So that'd be cool. Looking forward to doing that and not having to run off extension leads and what have you, and have a more permanent fuse system in place. So that'd be nice, and having like 8 sockets down the wall that I can just plug something in and run something up. So looking forward to that.
All right, here comes Mason. Let's see what this custom mask looks like.
What's up?
There's Mason. Oh, that's pretty cool, Mason. Who made that for you?
One of my cousins. It's hot.
Yeah, it looks effective, though.
Yeah.
I gotta take it off.
Yeah, where we work, you see a lot of people bringing in homemade masks, all different types.
Yeah,
So what are you up to, Mason? Anything good?
Not much.
All we got tonight is Mick and Nick. That's it. The Mick and Nick show.
That's pretty funny.
I got a load of these, just these standard Chinese.
That's what. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I have a box of them on my desk at work. And it says right on it, "Made in China," and I was like, "It figures." But you know, it's funny. I didn't know it was the blue side out and the white side in. So for about a week, I'm wearing it with the white side out, and everyone's like looking at me strange, but no one had the balls to say anything. So finally, I'm online. I look and I see everyone. I said, "Wait a minute, the blue's out." It turns out the blue is a coating that keeps liquid from entering the mask.
Yeah.
So here comes your buddy Harry, Mick. It turns out the blue is a coating that keeps liquid from entering the mask. Oh, you got to turn off the YouTube, Harry. So keep the StreamYard on, but turn off the YouTube.
Yeah.
What's going on, Harry?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. All good.
When's the next video? We're waiting, Harry. What's going on?
One came out at about 4 o'clock today.
Oh, okay.
My next one will be Friday, probably. Or Saturday, I'm not sure.
Keep him busy or what?
Yeah, bearing up.
That's good.
I
try and keep busy as I want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mick. There's the young timers. That's the future of this stuff, right?
Whoop.
Oh, what happened to Mick?
Oh, he's
Did we
gone
lose
now.
Mick? We lost Mick. He's in a tunnel.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
there he is.
no.
Hold on.
Those Courages, they make a twin
Yeah.
cylinder one too.
Changing phones over.
I know. I saw that.
This is
Uh-oh.
better, isn't it? Better on this phone.
That's right. Mason, it looks like you need a chainsaw to be in a horror movie.
How you doing, Harry boy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Mick.
Good
Yeah,
man.
all good.
Ticking over.
Yeah, slowly. 2 mowers come in today, so just getting through them one at a time.
Yeah, I picked up a new customer. Come all the way from Brighton
Yeah,
to drop 3 bits of machinery to me yesterday or day before, which is cool.
no, that's good.
Yeah, and I've just put a post on. I belong to a vintage lawnmower group on Facebook, and
Yeah.
someone on there has recognised me from my local selling sites, and he's bringing some stuff over as well tomorrow, apparently.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it's not. It'd probably be vintage stuff, so it'd be
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
of a pig. So vintage is fine. It's lovely to work on vintage stuff, but getting the spares is a pain in the ass.
So I go one game. Most of my stock comes from I got a guy who does house clearances.
Yeah.
Obviously he has been working for the last 8 weeks, something like that. I managed to get to one place yesterday, and end of this week I should have 4 mowers and about 3 strimmers coming off him. So I should
Good.
keep me busy for a while.
Yeah, I keep ticking over. How you finding selling at the moment? I find selling a bit slow.
Selling's a bit dead at the moment.
Yeah, I'm finding it slow.
Like I had HS45 hedge cutter I put up. I put it up for 130 quid. This guy said, "Oh, I'll give you 70 quid cash." I was like, "You are?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, mate, help me out. We're all struggling."
Yeah, you got. I like the you put something up for like £100, and they say, "I'll give you £80. Buy it now. Pick up now." No, you can pick it up now for 100, or you can pick it up next week for 100. It's the same thing.
Doesn't make a difference.
I know. You get those. Those.
Oh, we lost Mason.
I got nice mower going the other day, and it is quite nice for what it is. It's up for good money, fair money, and someone offered me like 30 quid for it. I'm like, no.
Oh.
He was from the Polish or Lithuanian community, and he said, "Oh, coronavirus, no work, no money, hard times, all this sort of caper." I'm like, "No, not interested." It's not happening. You know, and my machines, I don't know about yours, but my machines are all normally fully serviced, fully checked. You know, and there's lots on the Facebook and other sites of mowers that they've just got going, just got them running and bump them out. You know, but all of mine are fully serviced. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't entertain that really. Mine are price fair.
So when I started selling, I didn't service them. I was having comebacks, and I had to tidy them, just service them. It's just easier.
Well, I look at it in a couple of ways. Is that if you fully service a machine, you are sort of putting your name on it, and if it does go wrong, and machinery does go wrong, and they bring it back, then you are sort of within your right, say, okay, bring it back. I'll have a look at it for you, and maybe not charge for that, But if people respect the fact that you actually service a machine and check it, they may come back for the annual service.
Yeah,
or may come back for a running repair 3 months, 4 months later. Yeah. So it keeps the money coming. I'm getting a lot of repeat service, a lot of repeat work. People dropping stuff off and it ticks you over. I'll take a 30 to £50 repair 2 or 3 times a year, all day long.
Yeah.
Most all mine are repeat, Mick. I mean, I've been doing it 20 years, and I'll be honest, I don't advertise or anything. It's just word of mouth.
Yeah,
they tell their neighbor, their cousin, their aunt, their uncle.
Yeah, a lot of mine is Ken. I do advertise. and when I sell a mower or machine, I always put on there part exchange welcome on any complete non-working machines. Service and repair work also undertaken. So that's the only advertising I do on mine. So I get quite a few people turn up with, or they ask for price for mower, and then I end up just repairing their mower for them. So I prefer to do that. You know.
Yep.
I know my local dealer that I deal with all the time. If it's an old machine or something that he doesn't even want to bother with or something, he'll throw it my way. He'll give my name. So a lot of times I'll get some of those customers too, because some people, even though it's an old piece of equipment, it may be too much for the dealer or too expensive for the dealer to fix it, where it's something I can, fix. So
I get quite a bit of that. It's like this fella that came in the other day from Brighton. He's a professional lawn care guy, and this was his backup equipment. He had a Ryobi strimmer, which was totaled. Only had about 45 psi compression on it. He had a Hater 4048 old one, which wasn't running, carburetor clean, and had the choke butterfly clip on the top of the car was gone. So he has to either just put it 5 or 6 times to manually choke it, or a little bit of the old spray to start it. So I got that one going, and a Parker, which I'm not sure who makes that, or who retails that one out, but that had no drive on it, and he bought it brand new, 2018 model. Bought it brand new, and within 6 months, the driver stopped working. He'd put the belt back on, and it came straight off again. And he's been pushing it for the past sort of 18 months. They bought that in, and all that was just the spring on the back of the gearbox that tensions the gearbox. That had come adrift, so I just put the spring back on, and that all works fine now. So, he was happy. He drove 40 minutes over, dropped the machines off, and he came back the following day. The machines were done, finished, good to go. He said he can't get that service anywhere else. Can't get his machines back the next day. So he's happy.
I'm going to put out a video tonight on that STX 30. I actually got it running, driving, and cutting. I still have to do brakes on it. But one thing I noticed, the Chinese carb, there's a thing on commands. When you put the carb on a command in, the throttle linkage itself, the bell crank, there's a rounded out stamped recess in the shroud for that bell crank to flip in. It was hitting literally by about 15 thousandths of an inch, barely hitting. Okay. Yeah. It wouldn't hit until you tighten the 2 nuts that hold the air cleaner and the carb on. If you just had the carburetor on and you're holding it by hand, it was fine. So I went to go tighten. I'm like, wait a minute, I got no throttle. So what I ended up doing was I took a little grinder, I ground off a little bit off of that, and I put a double gasket on it just to space it away a little bit. Now it works perfect.
Yes,
but little things like that. The Chinese carbs are cheap, but is it 100% interchangeable? Yeah.
Well, it's, the idea is it's a copy part. They can't copy a pattern part, so there are differentials, and sometimes it can be not so much the dimensions of the bolt holes that fit the carburetor on. They have to be corrected. Sometimes it can be the depth or the width of a carburetor itself, and that's where you come into problems. I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I'm having some right issues with just your standard flathead gasket and diaphragms at the moment. I don't know if anyone else is having the same problem as me, but I'm putting on a brand new gasket and diaphragm, and with the plastic carburetors, I don't ever use carb cleaner. I just use WD-40 or some kind of water displacement to clean them. I don't even put it through a cleaner. But when I cleaned it and I put my gasket and diaphragm on, screw it down, I always kiss the screws down first so they're well seated, and then I just nick them up. Yeah, prime it, and the fuel pisses straight out the back of a carburetor.
Really?
In between
it's
the
not
gasket.
Warped or anything? The base is warped on the gasket?
They must be warped, but
yeah,
I've had 6 in the past 2 weeks do the same thing.
That's really weird, Nick.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Hey, I figured for $24, I just change them out.
Yeah, no, I fully get that. But when you're some of these are just running repair stuff, so you know, people will always go in for gasket and diaphragm rather than new
the
carburetor.
$5 kit.
Plus you got to wait for the carburetor to turn up too. So
Yep.
it's just more weird. I've changed supplier of gasket and diaphragms. They're supposed to be genuine Briggs. It's supposed to be. Because I don't generally muck about with copies when it comes to those. It's just not worth the outlay. But coincidental, I've had to double gasket about 6 in 2 weeks. Double gasket the diaphragms. It's weird.
Yeah.
Never known anything like it in my life.
I tell you one thing, unless I get a Briggs gasket and a Briggs bag, it's not Briggs.
Yeah, well, but this is something I'm going to take up with Amazon, because I just bought 15 gasket and diaphragm sets, and they've came in an envelope. Now they're advertised as genuine.
Yeah, but genuine Briggs, even if it's a pack like that, contractor pack, they will still come in a Briggs bag.
Yeah,
I've had them exactly the same. Came in an envelope. And what I found, I'm replacing them on mowers. So they're coming in, I'm replacing them, and they're just not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Exact same problem even after changing them. They're just not working.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you order like a big batch of them,
Boneyard's saying on here, Boneyard's saying he sands his a little bit just to flatten them out.
Mm.
Well, that makes sense.
What I might do, I might pick myself a little tiny belt grinder and a belt sander, and just run them on there. As you know, as he's saying, you know, it's literally nothing, but enough just to push the liquid through. But to me, 6 or 7 carburetors in 2 weeks is more than a coincidence. I've never really had issues with leaking, but the weird thing is, this is a weird thing, is that when I test the carburetor, like today I had one, and admittedly the carburetor was full of water, and so was the tank, but it still primed the same, and it didn't leak. I took the carburetor gasket off, cleaned it, put it back in, then it leaked, and they all seem to be leaking after I've cleaned it. But I'm only using WD-40, so that shouldn't be doing anything. It's really strange.
What I do on those gas tanks, I'll actually have a stone, like a machinist stone that's perfectly flat, and I'll actually stone the gas tank surface to make sure I'll glue it real quick or put a little high spot on it and just go like that to make sure I don't see any high spots or whatever. But usually the over torquing those 5 screws will do it every time.
Yeah, I don't think I'm screwing them down too tight. I just kiss them down so they're all down. No different to how you do a head gasket. Kiss them all down. You use a cross method pattern, and then just nick them up. So I don't think I'm being over tight on them. It may be that they're just really old carburetors, and when you're taking them off, then they're warping. They could just be sat there, and the only thing that's keeping them plumb is the actual where they've been sat for so long. It could just be that. But a double gasket.
But don't you hate though, Mick? You put it together, you tighten the 5 screws, you go to pull it, and it starts weeping out between the gasket and the tank. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, drives me nuts. But I've got a plenty of stocking of gaskets, so I just double gasket them, or I just leave the old gasket on. So take it all off, and then put the new diaphragm on, and then put the old gasket and a new gasket on top, and it does the same job. But I just wondered if anyone else had the same problems, because I'm certainly having the problems at the moment.
Yeah, Boneyard saying WD-40 softens the diaphragms.
Yeah, it does to a degree, but you've got to use something to clean. And I always use WD-40 and then compress. 2 seconds, someone's here. 2 seconds. All right. All right, you think?
Yeah, I actually use old fuel that I take out of customers' equipment. I strain it and I put it in a container and use the old fuel as my solvent. Free solvent.
That works really good, actually, old fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but WD-40 shouldn't. I understand what Bonnie was saying about the gaskets. Yeah, I understand that. And sometimes you can actually get an old diaphragm that's a bit stiff, and you spray it with WD-40, and it just puts a little bit of life back into it.
Yeah,
it shouldn't affect the carburetor.
No. Yeah, I've used it before. It's
No,
been fun. Yeah.
shouldn't.
No, I've been doing it for years, same as you, Ken. Been doing it for years and never had this reoccurring problem that I've had in the past 2 weeks. Really strange. To the point it's doing my head in, you know. So at some point I must go around the garden and start picking up the tanks and carburetors I've been throwing out the shed. So
You got a lot of those plastics there, Mick, or what?
oh yeah, I got loads. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I need to just throw a lot of the old carburetors out. I like to use them for spares. I might just strip them, just take the springs and the gauzes out and the main jets out, put them in the pot, and then just chuck the old carburetors away and just buy 6 or 7 in brand new. Just charge with what it is, you know. Because normally,
Hey, the thing is, by the time you spend 3 hours, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that those little plastic carbs, they don't, there's nothing to them, and generally 9 times out of 10 you can get one of them carburetors working again, but you might get one that's a bit of a poor sucker because the straw seal's gone, or the bearing's gone out of the priming jet maybe. But 9 times out of 10, they go pretty well.
Yeah, Thomas is saying carb cleaner works, but I tell you, Thomas, beware of carb cleaner on rubber needles, especially, or rubber seats. Because especially on a Quantum or a Tecumseh carburetor, you put carburetor cleaner on a rubber seat, carb, that float will never sit right. It'll leak like a sieve. It'll never work.
Yeah. I had one of my subscribers.
Carb cleaner.
In fact, Top Conker Phil, he rang me up last week. He was doing a Honda, and he cleaned the carburetor out, but he used carb cleaner, so the O-ring was twice the size it should be. And he had
exactly.
He had no spares for that. Yeah, and that's why I don't use a lot of carb cleaner.
Although I've had good luck boiling them in water.
Well, you can get mixed results, and that's why lots of people say to me, Mick, why don't you use carb cleaner? For that exact reason. If you're working with rubber components, you got to think of, you're right, Ken. You've got to think about the needle seats. You've got to think about the little tiny bit on the end of a needle. They all expand, all of them, and that's why.
The bowl gasket too.
Bowl gaskets go. Yeah, that's why I don't touch them. But you'll be interested,
especially on some of the. Good.
You'll be interested to see the carburetor I'm working on next week on Miss Ransom's Marquis. The carburetor is really weird. It's a flow jet carburetor. So it's got the main jet's about 2.5 inches long.
Yeah, the one that goes up on an angle.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I got one of them on the bench today, and I've had to
make a flow jet, small, medium, and large flow jet.
Yeah. I've had to redo a paper gasket on that one today, and I got it running, but it's not a carburetor that you often come across,
Yeah.
Is that the 3-screw or the 4-screw on top?
4-screw.
Okay, yeah, that's an older one because they had the 4-screw and the 3-screw, and because they had them in small flow jet, medium, and large flow jet, 3 different sizes on those.
Yeah, this is quite a
good
big
design
one,
though.
Oh, do you know what? It's a really good design carburetor. The only issue with this machine is that you have to set up. To start it, you have to bleed the carburetor at the bottom. But then once you get it running, you then have to adjust the flow jet at the bottom to get the machine to idle, which is one thing. And then when you give it full revs, you then have to reset it again to give it full revs. And there's just a sweet spot. You have to get it absolutely bang on. And I was fighting with this machine. My mate Pete was giving me a hand. It's not a machine I've come across before. So it's a new style of machine. And I was fighting with this bloody great big 18-inch steel drum drive mechanism, which was dragging me up and down. When I fired it up, I had it on the table up in the air. fired it up. It just fired straight on up. The drivers kicked in, and I was hanging off the back of his mower with a table 2.5 feet up in the air, trying to figure out how to stop the bloody thing.
Wow.
Oh, hilarious! Yeah,
The blade
you
spinning
died.
too?
Oh, blades were going, drivers going. Oh yeah, we were rocking and rolling. Oh yeah, we were going. So that's my own fault for firing up on the table. I wasn't expecting it to jump into action, but it did. And that had been sat for 5 years, and it started first pull away it went. Absolutely
nice.
unbelievable. And it ticks over like you wouldn't believe. Ticks over beautifully. But all good. Tomorrow I've got to pick up a cheapie mower tomorrow just for a tenner. No grass box, but I've got a spare box for it. That'd just be I think that's going to be just a standard classic again. So that'd just be a running mower just to give it a service and get it out. But mowers down here, they're just nothing. I've not seen no hedge cutters. I've not seen no decent trimmers. Nothing in my area at all. Nothing is moving.
So what size is normally the largest for you, Mick? Like a 20? Is that like a large one for you?
21 inch. 21 inch is a standard domestic mower over here. 21 inch, yeah.
That's by us, Ken. 21, 22.
22 is the standard for like the Toros and things over here.
Yeah, like there was like
those over here, they're 22.
You know, you got to remember, over where you guys are, you know, the yards are bigger. So you know, we've got 16-inch cuts over here. You guys wouldn't even entertain a 16-inch cut. You know. But you know, the lawns, especially on the newer builds, the gardens are the size of a kitchen, or you know, of a bedroom. They're tiny. So a 16-inch mower is more than big enough. In fact, I think some of the Flymo electric ones are even less than that. I think they're about a 10-inch.
I'd love to get a Flymo, the old orange Flymo. I'd love to get one of those.
There's a couple you keep on about. There's a couple up for sale in my area, but they look just a little bit too far gone. And they're still holding good money. So I'll find one for you. I'll do one for you. But,
I just think they're cool. To me, it's like a toy.
Say again, Harry.
Are they them hover mowers? The petrol. Yeah, I've got one of them.
Yeah, like a string trimmer that hovers. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Harry's got one. There you go.
Yeah, I'm working on it at the moment.
Is it two-stroker?
Yeah, two-stroke.
Yeah.
Ooh, I had one years ago. It was like an orange and cream color, two-stroke, and I loved it, but I got rid of it.
Yeah.
That's me. My dad picked it up for me, and then when he dropped it off, when he brought it back to the house, I was like, "What have we filled this thing up with?" He was like, "Oh, straight petrol." I was like, "It's two-stroke."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, mowers aren't two-stroke." I was like, "It says right on the front of it, two-stroke."
Yeah. I found a nice little. I might go and pick it up. It's an old vintage Briggs with a wind-up handle. So you wind it, you crank it 5 times, hit a button, and then it starts.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He wants about 60 quid for it. I think it's totaled, but you never know. I'll be back in 2 ticks. So just got to listen to a message, which is my safety brief. 2 ticks.
Yeah, I did the graveyard shift like Mick for 2.5 years. I mean, wasn't the funnest thing, but it was nice having the day free to get stuff done. So, anywho, Harry, are you still in school, or what's your story?
Yeah, last year in school.
Okay, so you and Nick are the same. What are your plans, Harry?
I don't really know at the moment. Don't think university's for me. I've been offered like an apprenticeship with a car mechanic. So I might go try that. My dad's got his own construction business, so I might tap into that. I'm not sure.
You should become the engine mechanic for your dad's company. That would be good.
Yeah.
He probably has someone there that works on all that stuff. You could probably learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
I tell you, construction mechanics know everything. They got to know hydraulics, pneumatics, and wiring, and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That Kohler you had, right? It had a Walbro on it, right? Originally, the Kohler commands.
Yeah, no, they're Walbros. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The one that's on there now technically is a Walbro copycat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a copycat of a LMZ carburetor, Walbro LMZ. Yeah.
They just always leak. Like they always
Just like
have,
you used to see on.
they always leak. The needles.
The only thing you got to watch though, Nick, you got to watch when you put in the needle and seat. When you have that wire clip that holds in the needle, the top of that clip is face toward the choke. If you face it in, don't ask me why, it will leak. Don't ask me why. It's even in the book that way. If you look in the Tecumseh handbook, that shaped clip like a C, it has to point toward the choke. If it points toward the throttle shaft, it'll leak.
Yeah, they do. I get
a tip I found out years ago. Also, I've also found two very, very minute pinholes in the aluminum bowls, the float bowls, that sometimes you can't even see it. But if you hold it up in like the sunlight, you can see just a teeny hole. All of a sudden, you'll turn the fuel on, and you'll see like this little sheen coming down the side of the float bowl. You're like, the heck is that? And after about a minute, it'll be like drip, drip. And you're like, the heck's that coming from? Just a teeny pinhole in the aluminum bowls for some reason. I've seen that.
Yes, I know Briggs uses carbs.
Well, on some stuff. I hate those Nickies with that gasket that looks like a Tron movie, with all the different passageways and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
And especially that gasket, you put carb cleaner in that sucker, it ain't going back in. I'm sorry. Those Nicky carbs are the worst thing they ever made. In fact, you look at the 12.5, 17.5 Briggs engines that are used on most garden tractors, I will throw that Nicky away. People, drill off the jet, do this, do that. Screw that. I'll spend the $92. I'll buy the Walbro clone that's sold by Briggs now, and it won't hunt, and it'll run perfect.
Yeah, Walbros are way better made. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They actually clone it now, and it's made in China. It's made by Ruin or Kuin or whatever that company is that makes the Chinese stuff, but they actually make a Walbro clone for Briggs.
It's made by Wuhan.
Yeah, Wuhan, one of those. Yeah, right? Yeah. The virus people. From the people who brought you Corona. But yeah, but I tell you though, it's a clone. You could tell if you ever get a carburetor on a Briggs overhead at a cast bowl, like an aluminum or zinc bowl, it's a Nicky, it's a crap one. When I open up a float bowl, you should need a Phillips screwdriver to open up a float bowl. It should be a 1/2-inch bolt on the bottom, and that's it.
I know.
I do know that.
How many times have I had to use impact drivers to get those off?
Oh, those things are tight as hell, man.
I know that Ellis Mowers, he did a Nicky carb the other week, and he actually rimmed his out.
Yep.
It still had just the smallest of hunts to it, and I mean it was minute, but it was still there. And for what it's worth, he
but I'll get the one customer up and say, it's just not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've reamed them too. I've reamed them. I've drilled them out. I've done all kinds of stuff. But you know what? Spend the $90. Do it right. You'll never hear a customer again.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear you.
I see Pates is on. What are they doing? It must be Jason.
Yeah, I think it is Jason. Yeah.
Come on up, Jason, if you're around.
Yeah, get in here, Jason.
But an SR4 with a Chanda. What's an SR4? That's a Honda push mower?
SR4?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. What is an SR4?
No idea.
Never heard of
Sounds like a motorcycle. SR4.
No idea.
Sounds like a motorcycle.
Don't you have stuff like with that terminology over there?
Yeah. Say again.
An SR4. Does that sound familiar on a Honda push mower?
Never heard of it.
Not to me, it don't.
Huh. That's weird.
Who is that from?
Jason.
No, not
Jason,
I've heard of.
buddy.
There's nothing
I'm
online about it. Just coming up with Honda Civic SR4.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A car sound like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Toyota Celica SR4 or something like that years ago. But that's cars.
It says a
Oh, yeah,
Chonda.
the Butterfly.
It says a Chonda, so that's a Chinese replica. So I don't see that being a Honda Civic who's got a Chinese Honda engine, a replica engine. Chonda's a cheap imitation. So
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Mick, your comments. Jason saying he's being essential. He can't come into the chat.
oh, whatever, Jason. There's nothing, Jason, there's nothing essential about anything you do.
Nick, Jason wants you to impress him. What does he want you to do? Like rub your head and pat your belly or something?
I have no
Jason?
idea.
Jason wants everyone to impress him. Oh, I've lost you.
Well, guys, it's been an hour and 5 minutes. I think I'm done for tonight. I wasn't planning on going on, but I do appreciate everyone coming up, especially Nick, Mick, Harry, everybody else in here, Jason, all the guys, Bob, Nikki. Oh, what's Nikki saying? An MEP brand lawnmower with a Honda. You guys know about that over in the UK?
MEP.
MEP?
What?
Yeah.
No, I can't say I've heard of it.
Oh, Toro SR4 with. Okay, I know what he's talking about now. Okay. Toro SR4 is a super recycler. I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
Right, I better get me orange gear on, Ken. I'm going to tap out, get me orange gear on, and get ready to go to work.
All right. Mick, be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody else out there, take care. Have a great night. We'll talk to everybody soon. Harry, keep putting those videos out. Nick, you too.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon, guys.
See you again.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night.
yeah. I may go live later.